So good morning, dear student. I believe today we are going to start with new topic named called accounting ratios. Okay, and I have already discussed all the ratios, and I've asked you to go through all them, right, several times, and get me today their formulas, how it is to be expressed, whether high ratio will be suitable for the company or low ratio will be suitable for the company, so on and so forth. So once again, the forum is open to you all. Anyone who can, and for our understanding, we have sub-classified ratios into three categories. One is P&L ratio or income statement ratio. Another was balance sheet ratio, and third one was combined ratio. So anyone who has completed or can get me P&L ratios, be quick. Any one of you who can get me few P&L ratios. If I'm not wrong, there are five profit and loss ratios. So please go through your ratio ka formula. Okay, like how I am able to recollect and reproduce. Similarly, you should be in a position to recollect and reproduce. Then only it will be, having some sense, or you'll be going to enjoy the topic ratio analysis. Am I clear to you all? Okay. So in ratios, if you can able to recollect what we have done, and today I'm going to, beyond this I think it is not. In ratios, what we have learned on that day, profit and loss ratio is subdivided into gross profit ratio. The formula was gross profit upon net sales into 100. It is whenever the ratios are multiplied by 100, it will be expressed in terms of percentage. As it is a profit ratio, high ratio will be profitable for the company. Why we are calculating? To know the profitability, how the cost of operation has been conducted, etc. Next is net profit ratio. The for net profit we have calculated in three different ways. So the formula for net profit ratio is operating net profit upon net sales into 100, net profit before tax upon net sales into 100, net profit after tax upon net sales into 100. Then we had operating ratio, which is cost of sales plus operating expenses upon net sales into 100. Then we had expenses ratio. Now these are the expenses. So the low ratio is profitable for the company. Then we have expenses. Expenses are also classified as operating expenses, and again further operating expenses are sub classified into office and administration, selling and distribution, and financial expenses. So operating expense upon net sales into 100, or administration expenses upon net sales into 100, or selling and distribution expenses upon net sales into 100. Again, these are the expenses. Low ratio will be profitable for the company. In P&L, the last ratio was stock turnover ratio. So there are finished good stock, there are WIP stock, there are raw material stock. For finished good stock, cost of sales upon average stock of finished goods. Average stock of finished goods means opening plus closing divided by 2. If opening is not given, Only the closing will be considered as average stock. For raw material turnover ratio, raw material consumed upon average stock of raw material. For WIP, cost of production, divided by average stock of WIP. It is always expressed in terms of times, how many times we bought and we could sold into the market. Then we have balance sheet ratio. In balance sheet ratio, there is a standard specified. First one is current ratio. The formula is current asset upon current liability. Now it is in pure form. It is expressed in terms of is to form. Next is quick ratio, quick asset upon quick liability. I hope you must be knowing what is the difference between current asset and quick asset. From the current asset, if you will deduct stock and prepaid expenses, it will be quick. From the current liability, if you will deduct bank overdraft and cash credit, it will be quick. Then we have stock working capital ratio, that is closing stock upon working capital into 100. Then we have debt equity ratio, debt upon equity. Then we have capital gearing ratio. Okay, funds with fixed interest and dividend divided by funds without fixed interest and dividend, and proprietary ratio, proprietor's fund upon total assets. These ratios we are calculating to evaluate short-term solvency and long-term solvency of the company, which is very important. And then now onwards, why these were known as P&L ratio and balance sheet ratio? Because in P&L ratio, we found the numerator and denominator, all details we can get it from P&L. In balance sheet ratio, numerator and denominator, all the details we got it from balance sheet statement. And now in combined ratio, you'll find one data is from P&L and some other data from balance sheet. That is why it is known as combined ratio. In combined ratio, first one is return. Return on proprietor's fund, return on total investment, return on your equity shareholders fund. So net profit before tax plus interest upon proprietor's fund, net profit after tax plus interest upon total funds employed or total assets employed, and net profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by equity shareholders into 100. So these are giving the returns, how much we are giving to the equity shareholders, how much we are getting on total asset invested or total fund employed for the business, etc., etc. After that, we had debtors turnover ratio. Again, it is similar to stock turnover ratio, but here how many times we could sell the product to debtors and we could able to recover the amount from debtors. So in debtors turnover ratio, the formula is as similar as what we had earlier. The net credit sales upon average debtors and bills receivable. So it will always give me in time. But if I want to know exactly for how much period we have given the credit to the debtors, so we will then we have to calculate average collection period. We'll reverse the formula. Average debtors and bills receivable divided by net credit sales. If I will multiply by 365 days, answer will be in days. If I multiply by 12, answer will be in months. If I am multiplying with 52, answer will be in weeks. But there won't be any difference. If it is 30 days, it will give 1 month or 4 weeks. Answer will remain same. Similarly, we have creditors turnover ratio. Again, it will remain same in credit purchase upon average creditors and bills payable. So till here, all the ratios are giving some or other ways combined, because one data I am getting from balance sheet, subsequent data I am getting from P&L. And then next onwards, it is investors ratio, which we are calling it. And many a times, not many times, regularly if you go to the newspaper, Economic Times or Mint or any kind of financial newspaper, you'll find these ratios are reflected. It is there printed, but we never understand. So it is for the investors, first time investor or subsequent investor, to get an idea how the companies is operating, whether we should invest on those companies or not. So for that, we have earning per share ratio, net profit after tax minus preference dividend divided by number of equity shares. Then price earning ratio, that is EPS upon market price upon earning per share. So how many times? So EPS, earning per share ratio, is always expressed in rupees. Price earning ratio always expressed in terms of times. Then we have dividend ratio, equity dividend, and total dividend, and thereby we get to know whether the company's policy is giving the appropriate dividend, and I mean conservative approach or liberal approach. Okay, like if we'll talk about Reliance and all, their approach is liberal. They always give the dividend. But if we'll talk about uh, Wipro, there they are not giving the dividend. They keep it accumulating, and they are paying them, either in terms of bonus or other way. But there the dividend policy is conservative. Then we have debt service coverage ratio or interest coverage ratio. So this is all for investor when we invest in the company, whether we should invest properly or not. So likewise, all these ratios should be by heart to you. Then only it will be favorable for you to go through this topic. It is very important topic. Once again, I am reminding you all, and these ratios formulas are the most important. देखो, just now we had discussed all these ratios. P&L ratio, अभी मैंने आपको बताया, it is gross profit, net profit. Net profit I have subdivided into operating, before, after, operating ratio, expense. Everything is as it is, what I have discussed just now. Then the balance sheet ratio, current ratio, quick ratio, stock working capital, proprietary, debt service. Capital gearing is also part of balance sheet. And from here onwards is return on capital employed, return on total asset, return on proprietors fund, return on equity shareholders fund. These are returns ratio, debtors turnover ratio, or average collection. Just now I have told creditors turnover ratio or average payment. Earning per share, अभी मैंने बताया, it will be expressed in terms of rupees. Price earning ratio, P ratio, अभी आपको बताया, it will be expressed in terms of time. And dividend ratios, right? Total dividend and equity dividend. Yield ratio, how much returns we are getting. Debt service coverage ratio and interest coverage ratio. These are very, very important ratios which you should learn, you should keep in mind forever and ever. There are other ratios also, but that will come on higher studies when you go. But these ratios are very, very important. Okay. Now next, let us calculate few questions based on ratios. So I'm taking the same question and trying to solve for ratio analysis. Okay. So this is the question for revenue statement or P&L statement. These details are given. Okay. Now if we want to calculate those ratios, very simple. What all we had in P&L ratio? Get me one by one. क्या क्या था बताइए. Someone of you. P&L ratio कैसे calculate करेंगे? Suppose this was the question and they are asking to calculate all P&L ratio. Yes. Thank you, Aryan, Ayushi. The first one was gross profit ratio. So let me write one by one, one by one. First one is gross profit ratio. The formula will be gross profit upon net sales into 100. Am I right? So what is the gross profit over here? Net sales is 20 lakhs. Gross profit is 4,70,000. So I will write 4,70,000 divided by 20 lakhs into 100. So how much you are getting? 23.5%. I told you na, is always to be expressed in terms of percentage. So my one ratio is done. Next is net profit ratio. You have rightly stated. I'm taking from you only. Net profit ratio. Other students should also be attentive like them only. Net profit is divided into three categories. First one is operating net profit ratio. So in net profit, I will take operating net profit ratio. The formula will be operating net profit, net sales into 100. So operating net profit upon net sales into 100. So what was the value of operating net profit over here? 2,95,000. I'll write 2,95,000. Net sales 20 lakhs into 100. What is the answer? How much we are getting as answer? Huh? 14.75. Again you are making mistake. It should be in percentage always. Okay. Next we need to calculate net profit before tax ratio. NPBT ratio. Formula will be NPBT upon net sales into 100. Do we have NPBT? Yes, we have. How much? 3,20,000. How much is NPBT? 3,20,000. So I will write there. 3,20,000 into net sales 100. What will be your answer? The answer is 16%. Next one is NPBT. NPBT की जगह पे क्या आएगा? NPAT. Yes, NPAT. तो NPAT कितना था हमारा? 1,45,000. 1,45,000. Get me your answer. Get me your answer. 7.25. will be my answer. That is NPAT. Then next, what was the ratio? After this, what was the ratio? If I'm not wrong, operating ratio. What ratio we had? Operating ratio. What was the formula for operating ratio? Cost of sales plus operating expense divided by net sales. See, that is why I'm faster than you guys. Why? Because you don't know these formulas. मुझे पता था इसके बाद ये है. So until unless you are thorough with the formula, it is difficult for you to manage. So cost of sales was how much? 15,30,000. 15 lakh 30,000 plus operating expenses. Operating expenses was how much? 1,75,000. 1,75,000. Divide by net sales. Net sales 20 lakhs into 100. How much you are getting? 55.25. This is my operating ratio. Then expense ratio. All different expense ratio. है ना? Chalo, be quick, fatafat. We have only 4 minutes. So what expense we have? Let me take first operating expenses upon net sales into 100. Pura ka pura. Total. So the operating expense was 1,75,000. 20 lakhs into 100. How much you are getting? Quick. Then so it is operating expense rate, which is coming as 8.75%. Next, office and admin expense ratio. How much is office and administrative expenses? Likewise, all ratios we will calculate, even the stock turnover ratio. Which stock we have? I think we have only finished goods stock. Okay. So finished goods stock turnover ratio is cost of sales upon average stock of finished goods. So यहाँ पे we will calculate selling and distribution. Then so all these 5 ratios we will calculate. Then only my ratio calculation of income statement will be done. And that is what kind of questions they do have. देखिए ऐसा ही क्वेश्चन है आपके बुक में. P&L है, दिया हुआ है, बोलता है एक्सपेंस रेशियो बताओ, ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट रेशियो बताओ, नेट प्रॉफिट रेशियो बताओ, ऑपरेटिंग नेट प्रॉफिट रेशियो बताओ. Can't we calculate all this? Yes, first we will convert them into vertical form as I did, and then every ratios ka formula we will put and we'll calculate. Very simple. Yes or no? Getting me or not? Very simple. So just see, once we have understood the vertical statement, so many topics are based on that. Maybe common size, maybe comparative, maybe trend, maybe your ratios. So now immediately your this meeting will get over. Kindly join with same login ID, password. Thank you everyone. Shiv, Nirmal, Ayushi, Aryan, Nistha, Pranav for participation. Bhargavi, Simran, Samir.